I want to tell you about Philip Haney now. And this is something that I've never really talked about. I've had him on the show before, and I've introduced him as a great patriot, but, and a DHS whistleblower, et cetera, et cetera. But I never went into Philip and what I know about Philip, because Philip was an important source for not only me, but others. And my relationship began with Philip 10 years ago. And he is a guy who I didn't even want to meet for a while, because I just didn't want to know anything about him, because I was afraid I would slip and say something and it would put him in danger. He was probably the number one enemy of the Obama administration, I think, inside the Department of Homeland Security. This is the guy who outed the Obama administration for telling DHS to purge everything on the Muslim Brotherhood. This is a guy who, until I check with attorneys, I'm not going to tell you all the things that he was involved in with us. But you need to know America lost a profound patriot. Philip was 66 years old. He was one of the founding members of DHS. He loved the Constitution and America. If we had federal employees that had a quarter of his understanding of what this country was, what it meant, and how close we were at all times of losing freedoms, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in today. I have been in situations with Philip to where he knew they were on to him. And the things that he got for us, it makes me really angry today that we have a whistleblower, Eric Caramella, who everyone on the left is trying to protect, who we know who he is. We know who he is. And they're saying that his life is in danger. And no, it's not. No, it's not. I want Caramella to testify. I want him to speak. He's not in danger. He's in danger from the left, because his usefulness is over now. And no one ever spoke about Philip Haney. No one. The media ignored him. No one was looking out for him. He's one of the most honorable men I've ever met. I have so wanted to introduce you to him and tell you about him for a decade. He has been on this show, but you didn't really meet the Philip Haney that I knew. A guy who was willing to put himself in danger, a guy who knew what he was dealing with, knew that he could be killed, or knew that he would be disappeared, or knew that he would go to prison. And he was absolutely unafraid. And this is one reason why I know, why I so strongly feel he didn't kill himself. Phil and I sat in my office a few years ago, and we spoke about God and we spoke about the country, and that few people had the opportunity to do what he did, and that he felt very alone, but he wasn't. The man knew who he was, knew what time it was, and knew who God was. He was a deeply spiritual man, and a man who understood history and understood his place in it. No man who speaks like Philip Haney did goes off and kills himself. I'd like to ask the police that found his body and deemed it a suicide if he had a thumb drive around his neck. I hadn't seen Phil for probably a year, maybe 2 years. But I'd say hi to him. I'd hug him. And I'd slap him on the chest. He knew what that meant. I was feeling the thumb drive, because there were documents that he kept around his neck. I only know what a few of them were. Wonder if that thumb drive was found on the body. Who are we turning into, America?